Hey everybody, I'm Chris42, and welcome to my top 8 dungeons in the Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages list. I'm going to be ranking the dungeons from worst to best, in my opinion. So, without further ado, let's get on with the show. At number 8 is level 5, Crown Dungeon. Now, even though this dungeon's at the bottom, it's not really that bad. I just have a lot of bad memories in this dungeon, because on my first time through, I got lost twice. I got really frustrated. I mean, the puzzles are pretty good. And the items, kinda cool, I guess. And the boss is pretty unique, if you can even call it a boss. It's more of a puzzle, really. So overall, this dungeon isn't really that bad. I just have a lot of bad memories of it, which is why it's at the bottom. At number 7 is level 1, Spirit's Grave. This is the first dungeon in the game, so it's really easy and not very exciting, but it kinda has to be since, you know, it's the first dungeon. It's got a Zelda 1 reference though, which is pretty awesome. Then there's the boss, who, while very easy, has a really cool design that I like a lot. So overall, this is a pretty good first dungeon, and a great way to start off Oracle of Ages. At number 6 is level 2, Wing Dungeon. Now first of all, I'd just like to point out how you get to this dungeon. You originally go to the present version, but that collapses, so you try to travel into the past to go to this dungeon, which is a pretty awesome idea. Now since this is the second dungeon, it isn't that much harder than the first, but it's definitely harder than the second dungeon in Seasons. Also, the boss's dungeon, while very easy, is a unique concept, so props to that. So overall, this dungeon is pretty decent. At number 5 is level 3, Moonlit Grotto. Now this is the third dungeon of the game, and this is where things start to pick up. The main gimmick of this dungeon is that there's 4 crystals you have to break in order to make the dungeon collapse, so it's very reminiscent of Eagle's Tower from Link's Awakening. This dungeon's also got some cool puzzles and a pretty awesome item. The boss fight is also pretty fun as well. So overall, Moonlit Grotto is a pretty good third dungeon. At number 4 is level 4, Skull Dungeon. And this dungeon is a fire dungeon, so it's already earned some brownie points with me. Now moving on from the fire, this dungeon's got some pretty nice puzzles. It's also got an interesting item called the Switch Hook, which is a pretty unique item. It's also got a pretty fun boss too. So, combine all this with a pretty cool music, and you got yourself one very nice dungeon. At number 3 is level 6, Mermaid's Cave. The cool thing of this dungeon is you have to explore 2 different versions of it, one in the past and one in the present, which is a really awesome idea. Now, as the name implies, this dungeon has a lot of water. That's okay, because this is the dungeon where you get the mermaid suit, which is a really awesome item, and makes swimming a breeze. The one thing I don't like about this dungeon are the bosses. Both the mini-boss and the main boss are both pretty underwhelming, which is a real shame, because I feel like those are holding this dungeon back from being at number 1. So overall, this is a pretty great dungeon. It's based on a cool idea, it's got good items, some great puzzles. I just wish the bosses were better, because if it wasn't for those, this dungeon might pose some serious competition for number 1. At number 2 is the dungeon ripped off in Ocarina of Time, level 7, Jabu-Jabu's Belly. Now Jabu-Jabu's Belly is a pretty interesting and challenging dungeon. The main gimmick of the dungeon involves you lowering and raising the wall level at various points in order to solve the various puzzles throughout the dungeon, which adds a bit of challenge to this dungeon. Both the mermaid suit and the switch hook are used to great effect in this dungeon, And this is also the dungeon we get the upgraded version of the switch hook, the long switch, which is kind of a weird name if you ask me. The mini boss is pretty decent, and the main boss is pretty interesting too. So overall, Jabu-Jabu's Belly is a fantastic dungeon. It's got some great puzzles. It's also pretty challenging, which is what it's meant to be at this point in the game. But there's one dungeon I like a little bit more than this one. And my favorite dungeon in Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages is level 8, Ancient Tomb. Now Ancient Tomb is a great final dungeon. It's filled with a lot of tough enemies and some great puzzles to really challenge you. You also got the power gloves in this dungeon, which lets you lift big heavy blue statues. Ooh. My favorite part of the dungeon is where you collect 4 slates in order to get to the boss. The game lets you collect them in any order you want, giving you a lot of freedom, which I really like. Then we have this dungeon's boss, Ramrock. He has 4 different forms, each with different attacks and weaknesses, so you have to fight each one differently, which I really like. Makes him a great boss and a great final challenge before the final boss. And all those reasons add up to why this dungeon is my favorite one in Oracle of Ages. So that's my ranking. So, what's your ranking? Put it in the comments. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Hey guys, if you like the video, give a big old thumbs up. And if you want to see some more Zelda dungeon rankings, click one of the thumbnails on the screen.